Hello and welcome back to Season 12 with DAP. We are in War 10 and we have ASR for the second time this season. I'm going to bring in Quake and I'm going to keep Nick Fury in there as well as bring Venom for a backup on the boss. So here we go. Basically, Nick Fury is just going to act as a 10% attack boost for Quake. Alright, so we're going to head over to Path 3 and start out with a Nightcrawler. So this is Node 6, and in this fight we have Psychic Thorns and a Nullify, but really Psychic Thorns is the only big deal here. And I'm going to bring in Quake to basically ignore the Psychic Thorns node because I'm not going to hit the opponent at all. This works out very well for Nightcrawler because he won't be evading and I won't have any kind of Psychic Thorns damage at all here. And just a quick warning for you guys, if you get very bored with Quake play, this is not going to be the video for you because I do have 9 Quake fights in this war, so stay tuned. If you'd like to watch some of this Quake play, then definitely keep watching. Alright, so we got Nightcrawler down, and we're going to head up to the second fight in Path 3 here to Bishop. This is Node 16, and it's another Psychic Thorns node. So again, we're going to go in with Quake with the same strategy as we had in the Nightcrawler fight, and just fight it normal. The Psychic Thorns doesn't deal any damage to Quake because she's not hitting the opponent, so there's no damage back on her. So just a standard fight here, trying to keep from getting hit, and I do get hit there. So that is a mistake that I had made, which is going to cost me some health. Really not in any danger at all of dying or anything, but certainly not the cleanest of fights. But I do get him down, and I do get him down now after taking a shot to the head, and we move on to the next fight. That was the end of section 1 for me. I also do not have any mini bosses in the middle here, so I'm just going to move on. I'm staying on path 3, and we're going to move up to Spider-Man. And this is node 28, which is Biohazard and Best Defense, so more of a chance to evade, and obviously Biohazard will make you bleed, and all that good stuff. None of which really matters to Quake. So this is just going to be another regular Quake fight. And I did pop on a combat regen in this fight just to save on some items as we go through it here. This is because I am doing a stretch here of 7 straight fights on 1 set of boosts, so really the most amount I can get, the better. So now we got Spider-Gwen on node 35, and on node 35 we're looking at the best defense and backup recovery. Quake is another natural option here for Spider-Gwen, mostly because some of the better parts to Spider-Gwen involve her evading, and her special one can be tricky to evade as well, so why not just not give her a special one and just have our way with her. Again, I still have the combat regen on from the last fight, and got our backup recovery there, so no big deal, and we're just going to continue on with the fight. And at this point, we just need to cycle through the Aftershock one more time to get her down. And there she goes. So fight 2 in a row done. I have 5 more fights in this one set of boots. Gonna heal up a little bit here with Quake and move on to Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. And this guy is on node 43, and node 43 involves Empowered Immunity, the best defense, and Buffet. So I need to avoid dexing in order to avoid the Buffet at this point. And this shouldn't be a problem because he does have just a 1-move heavy, which we'll get to at some point here. So really it's just standard play, and should not trigger the health gain there. So just a straight fight. Plenty well boosted. Still have the combat regen to help me out a little bit on items, and just fight this one normal. There's the heavy, just a single evade. Nothing that's going to trigger dexterity. And I'm going to get this guy down. Is it 1%? Come on, come on, come on. There we are. All right, so we get him down. All right, we got 3 down, 4 to go. And we're going to move on to node 46, which is going to be Sabretooth, topping off on our health here a little bit. I do still have the... No, I probably don't have the combat regen at this point. But Sabretooth here has special 1 lock and has immune to debuffs. So he will be debuff immune in this fight. But I'm also not going to, allow him to gain any health without hitting him. So I would say it's a pretty good trade-off. So we're just going to play that this match here. My typical debuff immune style, trying to parry to reduce damage, and get him down through the aftershock. And that heavy is a little tricky to evade with Quake. We have 2 regular Quake evades and then a dex evade at the end. So it's hold heavy, and then dexterity in order to dodge that heavy from him. At the end of this fight, I'm actually gaining a little bit of health from the special lock 1 that comes up, so that was a little cool. But overall, pretty good fight. Just took a lot of block damage there. That hurts a little bit. But we top her off, and we're gonna head to Mini Boss Island, where I do have 3 mini boss fights, starting with Heimdall. Heimdall here is on node 49. And on this particular node, it's counter tactics and breakthrough, as well as stun immunity. So again, we're going to have to do stun immune with Quake here. Again, my style of stun immune. I don't like to do too much dex evading if I don't have to. I feel it's safer in war to parry, and that's what I continue to do. And again, another trickier heavy for Quake to evade, and it's the same way with against Sabretooth. It's hold heavy, then dex evade the last motion, but you get two heavy evades in, and then the third one is the dex evade in order to dodge that heavy there. And that's usually the trickiest part with Quake is, how am I going to get through the heavies that they launch, especially on debuff immune and stun immune. So that can be the most important thing to practice, I think, when you're dealing with Quake. So I'm gonna continue to keep with the same rhythm and get this guy down without too much trouble. All right, so we got one of those mini bosses down, still on the same set of boosts here, and we're going to head over to the champion. And this fight is node number 52, and on this one, we're looking at recovery, straight back, armor, champion boost, all stuff that really doesn't matter. This is not a stun immune fight, so I will be able to stun the champion. The champion's abilities will be negated by Quake and her concussion, and even if he does go unstoppable, I'm not going to hit him anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So pretty good matchup here for Quake. I did pop on another combat regen to help with the damage I'm taking in these fights, reduce the amount of items that I'm using, because 9 fights with Quake is taking its toll a little bit here. So we're going to just continue with the game plan here, and I'll let you finish watching the fight, and we'll go from there. All right, and we're going to move on, and we do have one more fight here. We have Annihilus on node 55. We are going to top off one more time and get up here and go after this Annihilus. And node 55, we're looking at debuff immunity, energy, and critical resistance. So, again, the only difficulty here is the debuff immunity. So I just got to stick to the game plan. Like usual against Annihilus, he's going to be placing these debuffs on me. That's actually going to help me with my health, and allow me to maintain a pretty good health level throughout the fight, through my health gain there. So I will, again, I'll just let you watch the rest of the fight. I've done this fight a few times this season, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. All right, that is the end of the war for me. Gonna move up here to the end, release my champions, and call it a day. Let's go over some of the positives here. I had 9 wins, all without dying. I took 2 shared fights. I killed 3 mini bosses. The opportunities was I did use 11 items. All right, we did lose this war, so the Alliance was rated a C in this situation. This was my best war of the season. I am rating myself an A. The only thing maybe I could have done better with, obviously, is some of the item usage, but honestly, with 9 fights, very happy with the results, and you guys have a great day.